Hello, Yvonne. Good to see you. All right, we'll go ahead and get started because we've got people jumping on. Hello, Susan from the UK. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So hello and welcome. If you don't know what this is episode 174 of my weekly Monday night Facebook Live, What Am I Doing Hangout. I jump on here just about every Monday night at around 8 p.m. Eastern, just to catch up with you guys a little bit, say hello. I give you updates on the projects that I am working on, primarily with the books, but also anything else I'm doing, whether it be video, audio, stuff over on Patreon. You guys will always know about it. And then I talk about books that I'm reading and enjoying, and then also movies and TV shows that I am watching. So just a quick rundown of all kinds of fun stuff like that. If you are watching live, please jump into the comments, say hello, ask a question if you have one. And other than that, we will go ahead and get started. So I'll pull my notes up real quick. First and foremost, by the way, thank you to everybody who signed up for who have joined my Patreon page in the last week. There was a few of you that jumped on board with us over there. Really appreciate that. And the free Lance Brody sticker for all new Patreon members, that is going to continue for one more week from tomorrow. So I think it's the 15th is when that promotion ends. So if you haven't checked out Patreon, the link is in one of the links in this video description. Go check it out. We're doing some cool stuff over there. But thank you to the new subscribers. So let's jump into the first topic, which is what I'm reading. So I think it was last week I had just started it's Road of Bones by Christopher Golden, and I was enjoying it. I was talking about how it was basically very atmospheric. I loved the setting. I thought that just the cold of where they were in Siberia was almost a character in and of itself. What was really neat, it was just downright chilling, like literally for them, but also just like the story atmosphere and the tension that was being built just because of the weather. It was really cool. I had like really high hopes for it. I have read a couple other Christopher Golden books. I read Snowblind and I read Air Rat, which came out a few years ago. Enjoyed those. So I was looking forward to this one, especially because there were some really positive blurbs from authors that I enjoy reading, early praise for this book over the last few months. So it was on my list and I enjoyed reading it, but I definitely did not overall think it was my favorite Golden book. I think it kind of turned into a really kind of odd, spiritual, supernatural, almost like folklore kind of thing in the second half. And I'm not going to like spoil anything for any of you guys that want to read it, because it is a fun book to read. It just kind of left a little bit of the more traditional horror element for me and turned into almost like a fantasy fairy tale, but very dark kind of side of things. And the suspense just kind of dwindled a little bit after that. But it is a good book. It's a fast, easy read. It's well under 300 pages. So maybe wait and see if the price comes down on the Kindle version at some point, or grab it from your library. I did enjoy it, and Golden definitely knows how to write, tight horror, suspense, thrillers. But if you're looking for your first Christopher Golden book to read, maybe check out Snowblind first. That was, I think, my favorite of his that I've read personally. But after I finished that, I jumped into reading a book called Devil House by John Darnielle. And I didn't even know this book had come out. It just popped up on like my recommended on my Kindle. I've read both of this gentleman's previous books, Wolf and White Van and Internet. I think it's, what's the second one called? Universal Harvester. And I really, really like them. I definitely liked Universal Harvester better than Wolf and White Van. Wolf and White Van was almost too odd for me in terms of the way it was written, but I mentioned this in my Patreon newsletter earlier today. The guy's just got something about his prose that is very brooding and just kind of minimalist and detached that for some reason resonates with me. It somehow builds in a creepy element or an unsettling edge in the way that he tells stories and builds out his setting and his characters. He's definitely what I would call like an acquired taste. I know for a fact that not everybody is going to really enjoy the way this guy writes, or even his stories, because they are kind of dark and odd, and you don't really ever know what's going on to a certain degree. And it's not even that there's so much supernatural. It's just more of like this strange happening with the people involved with whatever situation the characters are in. It's difficult to explain. And in fact, somebody answered the question on my, what are you reading this week over on the group, that they were actually reading this and they weren't really enjoying it because they thought it was kind of slow. So I don't know what I'm going to think of it yet. I've only, I'm actually still reading the sample on my Kindle. I haven't even gotten that far into it yet, but so far it's kind of what I would expect from him. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably buy it and continue to read it, because I just really enjoy this guy's work, and I will keep you updated, on that. But again, his name is John Darnielle, and he's written 2 previous books. My personal favorite was Universal Harvester. But yeah, that's it for what I am reading. All right, moving into what I am watching. Still working my way through Yellowstone. It's because there's already 4 seasons out of that. We're just kind of slowly plotting our way through it. I think we have maybe 2 episodes of season 2 left. We would have caught up more on that this week, except Reacher came out on Amazon Prime, and this is obviously Jack Reacher, the new Amazon television series adaptation of Lee Child's Jack Reacher character. And this season is adapted from the very first book in the Jack Reacher series, which was The Killing Floor. I don't know if it's Killing Floor or The Killing Floor. Anyway, the first book in the Reacher series, which came out many, many years ago, that is what this is based on. And I gotta say, listen, I was never a fan of the casting choice for Tom Cruise to be Jack Reacher in the 2 films that they made. I did not necessarily dislike the movies. It was still kind of fun to see a Reacher story unfolding. However, now having seen this series, my wife and I binge watched all 8 episodes over the span of 2 days. So good. Like they nailed, in my opinion, my humble opinion, they nailed the Jack Reacher character. The guy is absolutely enormous. He's got the look, he's got the charm, the charisma, and he's got the strength and the brutality. And the thing that really set this whole series apart for me was they really did a great job at making Reacher funny. Like the comical, just sarcastic, arrogant one-liners, that he delivers in the books, the super cocky, super confident, like he delivers those all through the 8 episodes. But the flip side of that is, even though there's so much humor, there's also really graphic and violent and brutal aspects of this TV series that Amazon did not shy away from, which I think is fantastic. It's a juxtaposition, but it works so well in the same way that it always works really well with the Reacher books. So if you're a fan of the Lee Child Jack Reacher series, you've got to check this out. I think you will be very, very happy. I thought it was phenomenal. Just so thrilled with this. And I just saw today, like an hour ago, I saw on Twitter that they had definitely already renewed it for a season 2. And it is, even in the last 3 days since it came out, it is already in the top 5 most watched shows ever in Amazon Prime history. So clearly there is an audience, and clearly they have been waiting for Jack Reacher to be put onto the screen the way that he was meant to. So definitely check it out. I thought it was just absolutely amazing. Segueing into the next, what am I watching? Oh, so I'm also still watching the show Somebody Somewhere on HBO, which is, again, kind of like the John Darnielle books. I know is probably a little bit of an odd I'm probably in the minority in terms of thinking believing how good it is, but there's something about this show that just keeps me glued to the screen. I love the main character's performance. I love the quirkiness of it all. I love the drama. I think it's a very sweet show that is just showing everyday people lives in a very unique way that is often funny, but often very sad. And I think that is just a really good representation of the way that life really is. I don't hear a lot about this show. I don't see any buzz about it. I know that the woman Bridget Everett, I think is her name, who plays the main character, she was on the Tonight Show, like circuits, I think, doing some promo for the show. So clearly HBO has some faith in it. But I really like it. Check it out if you have HBO. It's called Somebody Somewhere. It comes on pretty late. I think it comes on like 10 or 10:30 on Sunday nights, which is like way past my bedtime. So I always end up watching it the next day. But yeah, I really enjoyed that show. And I still haven't watched any films. I have kind of like joked in my Patreon newsletter the last, I think, 3 or 4 weeks that I've not actually watched a movie in like a month, which is ridiculous. I cannot recall a time where I've gone that long without watching a film. But the truth is there's just been so much good television out. With Ozark came out. I was also working my way through Euphoria on HBO, which they're in the second season of that right now. So I was catching up on that. Then of course Reacher dropped. So working my way through Yellowstone, like all these television series have kind of kept me from watching films, but hopefully this week I might remedy that because the new Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Afterlife, is finally available out to rent on like Apple and Amazon and stuff like that. So I've been waiting for it to rent because I really didn't want to buy it. I just wanted to watch it. I didn't go to the theater to see it, obviously. So I think I might try to rent that and watch it sometime this week. No, Yvonne, I have not watched The Woman Across the Street from the Girl Through the Window, or whatever the heck that crazy name is. I talked about this last week, I think, because I thought it was funny that there were people actually complaining and giving that show bad ratings because they did not know that it was supposed to be a parody of all those popular Girl on the Train, Woman in the Window, like popular psych thrillers that have become so, huge lately. They didn't know that it was a parody. They thought it was just a really dumb attempt at being one of those psych thrillers, which just kind of shows how people think these days. But I do want to check it out for sure. It's on my list, my ever growing list of stuff I want to watch that is at this point almost as long as everything that I want to read. So anyway, Lisa says Afterlife is a good movie. Good. I am not a huge like Ghostbusters fan, but I did watch them repeatedly when I was a child. Ironically, I saw them out of order. I saw the second one first, and then I saw the first one. I did that with a lot of movies when I was young. For some reason, I'm blaming my dad, actually. He gave me movies terribly, terribly out of order. Same thing with Star Wars. Anyway, whole different conversation. I do like Ghostbusters. I think they're very fun and very kind of iconic to, my generation, but I'm not like an uber Ghostbusters fan. I don't have like a proton pack or whatever, lying around the house anywhere, or any Ghostbusters toys. Although one of the two NFTs that I actually own is a little mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that they were minting in conjunction with the release of the new Ghostbusters film. But anyway, I do want to see it. I'm just rambling to say that I'm very excited about the Ghostbusters movie, but I'm not like a diehard Ghostbusters nerd that maybe is going to pick up on every subtle reference to the original 2 movies that this one might have in it. I'll probably get the bigger picture. Anyway, that's it for what I am watching. And then in terms of what I am working on, I'm really busting my ass to get the new Shifty Pi book finalized. I worked pretty hard on it today. I got lots of words written, still getting it kind of plotted out, but it's coming along. And that's really like, I'm kind of like in that moment, or I'm in that period of time where I'm writing a book where all of a sudden the tunnel vision comes into play. And it's literally the only thing that I want or really need to work on is, finishing the book. All the other stuff, the social media, everything else that kind of comes along with this business kind of takes a back seat for a little bit. So if you don't see me like as active on social media, or not responding to messages, maybe as quickly, that's probably why. Oh, by the way, speaking of responding to messages, anybody that messages me through Instagram primarily, I'm probably not seeing your messages because I actually deleted that app off of my phone. I found it to be, it was getting very repetitive to me, and it was also becoming a little bit of a time suck. I'm pretty good at like keeping myself off my phone during the workday when I'm trying to be productive, but Instagram was one of those apps that if I did open it up when I had a few minutes that I wanted to kill, I would find myself sucked down a rabbit hole of just watching stupid shit. So I took it off my phone, problem solved. So if you do want to reach out to me, definitely message me through Facebook, or shoot me an email. Don't try it through Instagram because I may not see it in a timely fashion or ever at that point. So just a little FYI on that, because I know there are a few of you that usually reach out to me on Instagram instead of Facebook or Patreon or anything else. So anyway, that's basically it for what I'm working on. Tunnel vision, going through the new Shifty Pi book, Pray No More, which by the way, you can pre-order the ebook for on all of your Amazon Kindle stores right now. And the paperback will of course be available as we get closer to the official release date, which I'll know more about hopefully very soon. But anyway, that I think is everything that I have for this evening. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I actually need to go and watch the rest of this Duke basketball game. They're playing Virginia right now, and they're losing from the last time I checked, which is ridiculous because Virginia is just not very good this year. So that's kind of depressing. Anyway, let's go see if they can pull out a victory. I'll let you guys get back to your evening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and week. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I do appreciate your support as always. And I will end this the same way that I always do. If you've read any of my books and you enjoyed them, you want to do me a huge favor. If you get a few free moments, jump over to Amazon, leave a review saying you like the book. Reviews really do help us smaller authors out. Don't just do it for me. Do it for anybody that you read. I promise you they will enjoy it. And again, links to all my stuff in the description of this video. So thanks guys. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you next Monday. Bye.